made you start becoming a better version of yourself? What made you want to become the best you? I mean, once you accept the cold hearted truth that like your life makes a difference, that's what moved me to like change my life. To me personally, like my life makes a difference, and it could make a difference on the kid that I was. Seeing somebody like me, that meant a lot to me. It really did. You know, I like don't even get me started on the things I do for my family. Like I'm able to do financially, I'm able to do mentally and spiritually because of the place I'm in and the kind of man I've developed myself into. Don't even get me started on that. But you know, my life, your life can make a difference when you build yourself enough, and when you change your life, it can make a difference, and that means everything to me. Even if it's just one person. Now, obviously, it's past that, but you know, I think that's major. 20 years old, what advice do you have for getting into streaming YouTube? Quality comes with quantity. So, you know, keep posting, you'll get better. You know what I'm saying? Try new shit. Don't just repeat something that's not working. Like I see so many people. Also, like I said, you got to make sure that your effort is going in the right areas. If you watered a garden every day, I'm talking about like you gave it the right sunlight, you watered it every day, you fucking made sure the soil was good. But if there was no seeds, would anything grow? You'd be the best farmer in the world, and if it ain't no seeds, nothing gonna grow. So many people do that in their lives. J. Cole, but I appreciate the big five. Gifted brother, go crazy then. What made you get into content creation? I'm gonna be honest, bro. I had a channel before Tykwondoe, and it was called Golden Advice, where I would just give advice and break down videos. And it happened because I was never like some self-proclaimed like guru and all that. But I noticed that when I got to college, right, people would just naturally like confide in me. People would just naturally like listen to me or draw to me or ask me for advice and shit like that. And I would just on my regular Instagram, I would just post like I would just post like shit that would make people think. Or I would post books I was reading, or I would post my progress and anything I was doing, whether it was investing or whatever it was, right? And people always just been motivated by that. And I always had a hate-love relationship with social media, where I was like, I'm telling you, I say this all the time. Before I started this channel, you want to know the funny part? I had two decisions, and I was leaning more towards the other one. One decision was, man, I hate social media. Like, I don't like what I open and see. I don't like what I open and it makes me feel. I don't like when I open it and see it makes me think. I hate social media. Because in my own personal life, I love what I think about. I love what I work on. I love my grind. I love spending time. Like, I just enjoy my life. I go to social media. It's just bullshit, distractions. People bicker, argue for nothing. People negative. I'm talking about, listen, I was on this like years ago, bro. So I'm like, one decision was, I'm like, I'll just erase this shit from my life. I don't need it. Afi-san, I appreciate the 14 months. So I was like, yo, I either erase this shit from my life and just be me outside. Or I was like, you know what? How about I post what I want to see? And I don't know where this idea came from. But I was like, yo, what if I posted what I wanted to see? Because I'm like, you know what? Just because I delete social media and save myself, it don't mean everybody else is going to make that same decision. So I say, you know what? If I got a platform, mind you, I didn't even have 99K on Instagram, 68K on Twitch, or 330K on YouTube. I had nothing close to that. But I had a platform, whatever, right? So I said, it wasn't even about being somebody big to me, bro. It was just about the fact that I could post shit that's different than what you would see on social media. And that's exactly what I was doing. And then that's when people was like, I started saying like, I can have one-on-one conversations with people all the time. But I'm like, if I want to help people in a general way, let me put a video out there and then share my videos, because then you can watch my video at any given time. You don't have to remember it like it was a conversation. And it's like, it just allowed me to attack different specific topics and then go into it how I wanted to. And that's how that started. But I was still more, school was the main quest. And then COVID happened. Then I took a chance, got my first PC set up, just gave away Big Bertha to one of my homies so he could start posting on his content, because Big Bertha still runs to this day. And she held me the fuck down. So shout out to my homie for taking advantage of that as well. Got that first set up. Told my pop, I said, yo, our internet is butt. Like, our shit is ass. You know what I'm saying? Cancel that, John. I'm going to put this new internet bill in my name. That's when I also started building my credit. I was 18, bro. I got a credit card. I was paying the internet bill with my credit and paying the credit off because I had the money and like cash, right, and like debit or whatever, right. So I was just doing that to build my credit, and I upped it to a speed that I liked, so that I could stream 1080p, whatever the case may be, and that's all I did during quarantine, bro. Was use my PC and do school. And then that's when I could do it because I was making money. School, I was getting paid to go to school. I was not making money from content at all. The shit was losing me money. It was like a whole transition where I'm like questioning, like, all right, do I want to keep doing this? Do blah blah blah. It was a tough experience, chat. It was a tough experience because me doing content was taken away from me doing school, and neither was doing good because both of them was fighting for, the attention in my life. So it really was a tough time and a tough decision. And that's when I remember April 9th, 2021, that my first Limp or Pimp, the first time I said, you know what? And the crazy coincidence of how that video ended up coming about, that's a whole nother story for another day. That first ever joint I did, viral. First ever time I switched it up. The first time, bro. And I thugged it out, finished that semester, because April was a whole nother month of school left. Finished that semester and dog, haven't turned back since. Have not turned around since. Which one, the Aiden vid? Yeah, that's my first Limp or Pimp. I didn't even know who he was, bro. My homie was a huge like Aiden fan. Huge. I only seen Aiden from E-Days, and I never forget. I remember I looked at the E-Day and I was like, man, these niggas do not know how to talk to women, bro. Like, they don't even blah, blah, blah. Like, this shit is terrible. Whole time, chap, I'm low-key out of touch because, mind you, I didn't grow up watching a bunch of content creators, but, like, my homie put me on Solo Illuminati my senior year of high school. Like, that was late. My senior high school was, like, 2018, 2019. That was late. I didn't play 2K. I wasn't in the scene. So I didn't know about, like, I knew about trolling, like around in real life, but I did not watch a lot of content creators. I did not grow up watching DDG. I didn't grow up watching none of these people. So when Aiden come along, I didn't know who he was. Like, I was not a content creator watcher, bro. I don't watch the shit that I react to on YouTube. That's not what I watch on my spare time. Oh, one and I appreciate the Twitch Prime sub. I'm trying to tell you, I'm not saying this is a flex. I'm just being dead serious. Like, I didn't know who none of these people are. Miami the Kid, Prime Time. I did not know who any of these people were, bro. It's y'all who put me on a lot of people. So, it's been an enjoyable experience for me. But, my homie literally sent me a video and was like, bro, this is what we was talking about, like da-da-da-da. And I was like, you know what, this gonna be my first one. And you can see how rough that reaction is, bro. The Reaper 330, I appreciate the
Random
big
question that
3
came to my
months
mind while
you
in
did.
self-reflection. If the truth is seen, why is it hard to be heard? Interpret how you want.
I mean, who said it's seen to begin with? People don't see things as they are. They see things as they're supposed to be. Think about interpret how you want. Slumlord EJ, I appreciate the big 17 months. C6 Alec, I appreciate the 9 months, man. Red Belt, you almost got your Oni mask, man. You almost do. You get like Alec. I mean, you could get like EJ. Get the you see the symbol here they got next to their names.
Red belted.
What you have to do to get to the 3rd level of Plato's Cave. That's your individual journey, my brother. And that question is too loaded for me to even just put out to just say right here on just on the spot. It could be different for everybody. Simple answer: transcend your filter. That's the simple answer. Nigga like me is watching Venom's Crew, FaZe Rug, Paul Brothers. All right, so listen, for me, content wise, this is what I remember, like my periods of content, bro. I remember, I just like scratched my foot on my chair, bro. I remember like when I was in 7th or 8th grade, I remember watching Chris Smooth. I remember watching like Call of Duty, Black Ops 2 videos, GTA videos, like K-Sign TV, and a group called Dormtainment. God so good. One of the members actually was like, yo, I fuck with your content. It's like shit be coming full circle, bro. So Dormtainment. And then I was into like conspiracy theories back then, bro. Like I'm telling you, I was already on my, bro, listen, I remember wokeness came, bro. I was like 8 years old, bro. And it just came from pure exposure. Like, I had Christian family members, Muslim family members, and I also had access to the internet. So I could do my own research on shit. And it started with questioning religions. It started with questioning people's beliefs. It started with questioning my own, questioning the environment I was in, questioning and thinking and being just really inquisitive about everything. So, but I would tell you, I was not watching like regular content. I was not giving a f. I do remember playing like when I was in like 10th grade, 2K. What's the year was that? That probably was like 2016. Bro, 2K17, I remember doing that with my homies. That shit was jumping. That was like the first and only 2K I actually ever put time into. Besides the one that just came out and I was playing it with my homies on stream. But that's just not how my content went. That's not how I spent my time, watching what I watched. Playboy Sam, I appreciate the 21 months, man.
Sup posse Tykwondoe the moon, Tykwondoe the moon.
You must like posse. You spelled it wrong. To the moon, though. Let me check this. Yeah, we straight. But long story short, chat, the marathon continues, man. The marathon, it probably was 16. Whatever one niggas had, like they could have like tigers walking with them or some shit. Like, that's what I remember. Like, they was dressing up like mascots and had like tigers and shit with them at the park and shit. Most of these content creators don't teach you anything or do anything interesting or entertaining. Y'all niggas be consuming too much of this kind of content. I don't know how you look at this all day. I don't either. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, this is no disrespect to anybody, because I know most of these niggas now. It's just like I couldn't. Not all day, not every day, bro. I couldn't. I like that I get paid when I watch this shit that I watch, because it's not shit that I would watch on my own time personally, and I enjoy it when I do watch it. So that's no knock on their content, but the bang for the buck, man. Like, the bang for the buck just don't hit for me. Entertainment is cool. I love movies. Y'all know that. I love going to the movies, bro. I go to the movies by myself, bro. Like, no bullshit. But, like, if I couldn't imagine going to the movies every day, like, that would just be, it's just, at some point, how much do I enjoy entertainment at that point? You know what I'm saying? V-Stitch, I appreciate the 15 months. What you using on your teeth, they look whiter? The same reason my teeth is white is the same reason my skin is clear. It's your diet. Everything you're putting in your body is going to come out and pour out of your body, and it's going to reflect in that. The same reason my hair will grow fast, my hair is healthy, it's the same reason, bro. It's all in your diet, bro. Literally. There we go. Let me catch my breath, chat. Thoughts on vaping, different or the same? Listen, if it's up to me, if you can, which I know you can, don't give yourself excuses. A lot of y'all know why y'all can't stop. Y'all hang around too many people that support your network of bad habits. Like, you are, like, I'm gonna be honest, chat. Most people I know that drink or smoke or do something like that, 9 times out of 10, if they really could just go cold turkey, they would. I never met a smoker or a drinker or none of that who was like, man, we lit. I never met one. Every time I talk to them, even when I'm smoking with them, like I said, I'm no saint. I'm no saint. Anytime you have a conversation, they really don't care that much about smoking. Like, if they could not, they just wouldn't. It's just that some bullshit might happen and it get to their head. And they're like, yo, I need an L, bro. Y'all tripping. Like, it's like, man, pour a shot of clock, nigga. This week been crazy. Like, and then they start pouring. But at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, every time I have a conversation, they don't want to, bro. They don't want to at all. So, like I said, if you can, and anybody can, bro, just let your last time be your last time. You gotta replace it with something. You can't just see motherfuckers just quit and just sit there like they superhumans are just going, start chewing gum or start, I don't know, like, you have to replace it with a bunch of different habits. Otherwise, that habit is always going to be a habit. That's the point of it. It's a habit. You just go to do it. You're not even thinking about it. So you need a new habit. That's all it is. And I would say before I smoke, or my habit might be, guess what? I might even throw a video on, bro. I might even start watching something. Like, I might even go, I'm not even going to sit here and say, oh, I started getting down to doing 50 push-ups and it's like, oh, I'm Neil fucking Armstrong. It's just like, I got different habits. That's all. I'm not no more special than anybody. I think I could be addicted to something just like anybody else could. But it's just that I got different habits. So you got to replace your habits, bro. it might be inconvenient for me to. I don't even feel like getting some weed, bro. Like I'd rather just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, I make it to where it's inconvenient for me to do shit, and that way I won't do it. I don't give a fuck. Not to be excused, but I work out, so I literally what I want because exercise constantly instead of a good skinning with. No, exercise is major, bro. Exercising is good for your brain. Sweating is really good for your brain. It's so much shit, Chad, that when you start to change your lifestyle, all your habits support each other. It's like your diet supports you working out. You working out supports your diet. All that supports your body, and then your body, like it's just they all help each other out, like all at once. It's not just that you independently work out and that your diet is independent, and then that your mentality is independent, and that what you think, like all that shit, all of those things hurt or help each other. Either one, however you set up. I see what this nigga Todd's transitioning, bro. We having fun, chat. Chad, as long as you enjoying your storyline, bro, is nothing anybody can tell you, bro. What do you think about people trying to act nonchalant? I think it makes them feel better. You know, I think being vulnerable, being emotional, being
the grind been going crazy with your
in tune
advice.
with what you
6
feel
months.
is considered weak. It has always been considered weak. So I think if somebody thinks they're nonchalant, it's like the whole trend to be like Future. Like, yes, I want to be desensitized, emotionless, and just purely come on, bro. Like that ain't even realistic, bro. SF Quinn, I appreciate this 6 months. And having all that and incorporating it into who you are do not make you weaker. It only make you stronger when you can process that shit and still handle business authentically, not covering it up like a mask. And also, Che, I gotta realize this. There's only one person, really, that can judge you and tell you who to be or what to do or why to do it, and that's you. Who else can judge you? Who else can care? Who else opinion matters? Honestly. If I do something, if I say something and I stand by it, name on the tombstone and all, who the fuck give a fuck? And I don't give a fuck what nobody else think or nobody else got to say. Period. And it's between me and God. I don't give a fuck at the end of the day. Because guess what? All people gonna do is be who they were showed to be. They don't even know how to be themselves. I was having a whole conversation with my homies about this earlier today, bro. It's like people will live and die by an identity that was given to them. Come on, man. Do y'all want to swim or do y'all want to jump? What kind of stream y'all want this to be, man? Because I'll tell you, when I do my side quest, I get in here. I lock back in here with this gear that don't stop spinning. So it's just a lot going on. 5'7" is crazy, bro. How would I ever be that tall, bro? How would you consider yourself financially literate? I mean, I don't know why none of those books matter. The extra 20 in my living room, the 15 in my bedroom, the extra 20 that's under my bed, the 20 more that's in that closet, 20. Nah, that don't matter. Nah, I'm financially illiterate, actually. Ty, you ain't never got your heart broken? Yo, is that a serious question?
WSG gang.
Is that a serious question, bro? Yo, man, John Villa, I appreciate the 13 months, man. Cyber King with the big 20. Is that a serious question, bro? It's no way, bro. It's no way, bro. You're talking about to be a freshman in high school and I'm trying to be as effective as possible with getting girls. How about you get your life prepared to be successful? How about you come up with standards and qualifications for a woman to get you? I'll wait. I'll wait, man. I always think, oh, let me get a woman, let me get this, let me get that. Man, what it take to get you, nigga? What it take to fuck with you? Come on, man. What's your standard? What's your qualifications? Instead of you reaching out, just offering everything. I need it, I want it. How does your mouthpiece work in a girl randomly working in the streets? I feel like I can improv on the spot. I'm a worker. Is she working on the streets or are you a server? What are you talking about? Be specific. That didn't even make sense. Are you a server and you saying a girl on the streets? What are you saying? They don't have that level of self-esteem. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, not. They're told to validate themselves through body count, through materialistic possessions. So they'll never be able to know themselves enough to have a standard or any qualifications because they don't even value themselves enough to protect themselves or to have some sort of filter of access to themselves. It's a sad thing, man. But I used to be like that. Not for long, but I used to be like that. All these other people have standards. Why don't you, man? I don't know. Mind you, half of the people that got standards are pretending. Like, they don't even really... Another conversation. I used to meditate. Having it did it was calm me down. It doesn't help with the mouthpiece. Yeah, man. Like, a lot of that stuff, mindfulness, meditation is really good for being grounded in the sort of present moment. Because you always on your phone. You're always opening some new distraction. It's hard for people to just sit there and just both their feet on the ground, posture upright, just take a deep breath and just slow down. Just feel the moment. Just be here right now. Fully present. And just pay attention to your awareness. Don't think about anything that's due, any problems, any issues. Just pay attention to what's now. And you do that for an extended period of time. Let's say 15 minutes a day, every day. It'll really ground your mind, bro. It'll really help you slow down and be able to focus. Hit the gym for a good year. Your confidence gets a boost. Conditional confidence, brother. You do it if you want some conditional confidence. Where are you going with this entire? You know we going to the moon, nigga. Act like you know. People that have status don't even be real themselves. I mean, you can't generalize, but for the most part, that's on point. Because they got there pretending to be somebody. What you say about the high school question, gotta add. I said, what does it matter? What does your reputation matter? Mine didn't stop me. Not gonna lie, gang, I used the sex game you taught me. You supposed to, nigga. You know, you probably on Patreon, so don't say nothing, but you supposed to, man. Oh, here we go, some bullshit. Ty, I'm so used to rough women, so when I get a softie, the convo goes wide. Help. Show me what you're talking about. Show me. Send some screenshots. I bet you bullshitting. You are the common denominator. I don't know how much I have to say this. I don't give a if she's from Bengali, Bangkok, Brookhaven, Denver, Dubai, Denmark, Colorado, California. It don't matter, my nigga. I'm the common denominator. And I've traveled enough to see this. I'm the common denominator. Yeah, I took all this shit. Oh man, you know this woman over here, this and that woman over here, this. You're the common denominator. She's going to reorient herself around you if you are strong enough in your identity to where you influence her and she doesn't influence you. Because if she influences you, then you're going to bow down to that. You're going to complain. If you influence her, she gets dismissed or cut or bye. On to the next. All day TJ, I appreciate the 5 months. Zero tolerance. No tolerance, not low tolerance. Come on, man.
The reason education sucks is the same.
I love how TikTok like rediscovers people, bro.
Never, ever, ever.
This is old.
Because the owners of this country don't want that. I'm talking about the real owners.
The
real owners, the big wealthy business interests that control things and make all the important decisions. Forget the politicians. The politicians are put there to give you the idea that you have freedom of choice. You don't. You have no choice. You have owners. They own you. They own everything. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They've long since bought and paid for the Senate, the Congress, the state houses, the city halls. They got the judges in their back pockets. And they own all the big media companies, so they control just about all of the news and information you get to hear.
The thing about the internet, crazy, I'm doing a paper on this right now for one of my summer classes, is that public opinion usually is controlled by like the media and the people that's in control that control the information, yada yada yada. But the way these social medias work, it's so open. So there's a lot of open bullshit, a lot of misinformation, a lot of fluff, a lot of fat. But it's actually allows everybody to have a voice, allows anybody to speak out against anything. So quickly can TikTok get somebody fired, can TikTok call out an issue that the media is ignoring or trying to shove under the rug. And what this does is it creates discourse. It creates public discourse. So now, you know, a little girl might see something on TikTok and then go tell her mom, and her mom might go tell her friends, and her friends might say, "Oh my God, like, did you hear about this?" And then they take that home. So it really creates that like domino effect that information people would not have had access to if they did not have social media, because the media would have just shoved it under the fucking rug.
They spend billions of dollars every year lobbying to get what they want. Well, we know what they want. They want more for themselves and
They'll
less
let me know
for
when the next time the
everybody
ads
else.
run.
But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable.
Chad, do you know what it means to think critically? I don't think people really know the definition of critical thinking. If it's not, we could talk about it. What does it mean to think critically? To question your own beliefs. No, to interpret what you're thinking about. Essentially. So it's the difference between, like, I give you some information, right? And you just take it. Versus if I give you the information and you're critically thinking, then you try to interpret the information that was given. You try to make sense of it. You test it for its credibility. You look at it. What was the purpose? Like, it's basically like, you know how them English teachers used to be like, oh, well, what did the author mean when the author said a red shirt? Like that's like critical analysis. That's critically reading. That's reading and questioning things. That's reading and trying to find the purpose of things and trying to add it to the context instead of just taking it at face value. So critically thinking is not taking the things at face value, but actually thinking deeper into things or interpreting them and making sense of them.
People capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help.
So when you don't critically think, you just watch the news or watch something and just say, "Oh my God, no way."
That's against their interest. That's right. You know what they want? They want obedient workers. Obedient
Right, you don't
workers.
question anything. You
People
just follow,
who are just smart
take it.
enough to run the machines and do the paperwork, and just dumb enough to passively accept all these increasingly jobs with the lower pay, the longer hours, the reduced benefits, the end of overtime.
You wanna know some chat? And I even say this too. It's crazy, bro. This class I'm taking got me thinking about so much shit. Like, that's why I like the contrast of being this and, you know, doing things in school, especially with being on the communication and media. One of the things I wrote a paper on, like about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, it was about how okay, let's take it back. Not even talking about social media. In Western culture, right, it is a lot of pressure on people to be successful in general, right? And our definitions of success may be different in another culture or society, right? And it may, like, we're going to measure you up financially based on your status. Oh my God, he's a doctor. He makes this much a year. That's a lot of status. That's a lot of money, right? Oh, this person is this famous, or this person is a ball player, right? All these rare situations, right? All these hard to achieve situations. And the paper was talking about how, in general, this is history repeating itself. Because before, let's go, I think the dude grew up in the 2000s, right? And he talked about how MTV had shit like Pimp My Cribs, and you saw famous rappers and famous celebrities, and you saw professional sports players living this super lavish life. Meanwhile, the average person is getting squeezed tighter and tighter, saying you need to be successful or you're not worth anything. You need to be successful, you're not worth anything. And then he basically wrote the paper to talk about there's a lot of hype in content creation. And he was talking about how a lot of content creators, or there's a this was the aim of the article. I'm not giving my opinion yet. I'm just talking because the whole point of the article was to critically break it down, like critically read it, critically, you know, break it down for its rhetorical theories, its rhetorical strategies, and its rhetorical appeals. So I got in depth like that, but I'm explaining his argument. So he was talking about how there's a all that glitters isn't gold kind of thing with social media, where it makes it seem like everybody can do it. All you need is a phone to start your career. So they, it's propped up like anybody and everybody can do it. And with that hype, your favorite person is already getting paid. So they're getting paid off your hype, and then they get paid on the back end because not only are you following them, thinking it's so easy, you're buying the things that they tell you to buy. You're doing the things that they tell you to do. You're wearing the clothes that they tell you to wear. So Fashion Nova, he went into how like Fashion Nova is killing it on that level of like, Fashion Nova will choose the same build of women to be sponsored by them. Or, I don't know how outdated this was. I think the article may have been written in 2019 or something. I forget when it was written, but maybe Fashion Nova's gotten better at this. But he's talking about like, they use the same build in women with the same body types, everything, same complexion, all that. And they'll ship them out their clothes and all that. Now, obviously, this is a company trying to be, okay, buy our clothes. But going into, seeing your content creators wear it and you're trying to mimic their success, you're trying to mimic their level of like, I feel good enough with my life, I feel good enough with myself. I don't know, it just really made me thinking about it being a content creator and like how I honestly disagree with the paper because content creation is really one of those things where, yes, people can start this shit off their phone. Yes, but it's going to take work. It's going to take work. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is accessible. But his argument was that because people make it seem so accessible, that they make it seem so easy, so people get stuck in a loop trying to validate themselves through it. It's pressure. They stress themselves out. They burn themselves out, and it just creates a bad chain of events.
Vanishing pension that disappears the minute
Something to think about.
Collected, and now they're coming for your Social Security money.
I need another word about it.
So they can give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street. And you know something? They'll get it. They'll get it all from you sooner or later because they own this place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club. By the way, it's the same big club they used to beat you over the head with all day long when they tell you what to believe. All day long, beating you over the head in their media, telling you what to believe, what to think, and what to buy. The table is tilted, folks. The game is rigged. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. The fact that Americans will probably remain willfully ignorant because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream.
I don't know, Chad, especially after everything I just said, bro, it just makes me think like how important it is to know your own value, to know your self-worth, to know what's important to you, to know what gives you meaning in life. So that, let's say, you making anywhere from 30K a year to 100K a year, or let's say you over that, shout out to you. And throughout it all, you don't feel minimalized by your income. You don't feel minimalized, oh, I'm not super handsome, I'm not tall, I'm not this, I don't have that, I'm not blank, 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 blank. All the shit that you are proposed to care about and stand on and be dependent on and feel good and validated through, that you find your own ways to care about your life and find meaning in it. But instead, what do most people do? Play by the rules that were given to them. Like, oh, okay, I need this in order to be somebody. And this is whatever the world says you need.
Pair of shoe that you see on here is more.
I think a lot of people don't care. They want to live a fantasy and not pay attention to shit going on around them. On God. And let me tell you something. People can try to come at me and be like, well, bro, it's flawed. Like, you're already making this much money. You're already a social media influencer. My nigga, I've been the same since I was living in my dad's back room, going to college classes, trying to get my career that way. And I grew up struggling my whole life. This is about no way a biased perspective. Nor did I change when any of this came. I still think the same. I still see the world the same. Because I don't defend myself and prop myself on my clout.
That you see on here is more important than any thought on earth. Any girl. If you my girlfriend and we getting chased by a dog and I'm wearing one of these, you better carry me, bitch. You better carry me. I can't scuff none of these. That's how important these shoes is to me.
He said, he talking.
Cannot have what you're not willing to become vibrationally. If you do get it, you'll lose it. You see, this is why people, they'll win the lottery and they lose everything, or they'll finally get the person they think they want to be with. They can't keep the relationship, or they'll get a modicum of success but can't hold on to it because inside they weren't vibrationally aligned. They really hadn't become it. So you can temporarily manipulate and get things, but to have it completely, you have to lift your vibration and become that in vibration.
Oh, that's so good.
That gotta be some of the saddest shit ever. You to fumble.
That is so good. Isn't that a look? Hallelujah, hallelujah. That is so good.
You're not really attracting things to you. You're really radiating. It's really a radiation.
I could cry right now. I felt that so strongly. That's
Top tier acting right there. That is top tier acting right there if I've ever seen a chat. I know who this is.
If you understand
Something Nightingale. Yep,
what
Earl
I'm going to tell
Nightingale.
you from this moment on, your life will never be...
7-minute clip. Y'all should watch this though.
If you understand completely what I'm going to tell you from this moment on, your life will never be the same again. You will suddenly find that good luck just seems to be attracted to you. The things you want just seem to fall in line, and from now on you won't have the problems, the worries, the gnawing lump of anxiety that perhaps you've experienced before. Doubt, fear, well, they'll be things of the past. Here's the key to success and the key to failure. We become what we think about. Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. Throughout all history, the great wise men and teachers, philosophers and prophets have disagreed with one another on many different things. It's only on this one point that they are in complete and unanimous agreement. Listen to what Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Disraeli said this, everything comes if a man will only wait. I've brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this, a man is what he thinks about all day long. William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. And he also said, we need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing into such a connection with our life that it will become real. It will become so knit with habit and emotion that our interests in it will be those which characterize belief. And he also said, if you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strongly. In the Bible, you read in Mark 9:23, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. My old friend Dr. Norman Vincent Peale put it this way, this is one of the greatest laws in the universe. Fervently do I wish I had discovered it as a very young man. It dawned upon me much later in life, and I found it to be one of the greatest, if not my greatest discovery outside of my relationship to God. The great law, briefly and simply stated, is that if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. That is the simple fact, he went on to say, which is at the basis of an astonishing law of prosperity and success. In 3 words, believe and succeed. William Shakespeare put it this way, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. George Bernard Shaw said, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Well, it's pretty apparent, isn't it? And every person who discovered this for a while believed that he was the first one to work it out. We become what we think about. Now, it stands to reason that a person who's thinking about a concrete and worthwhile goal is going to reach it, because that's what he's thinking about, and we become what we think about. Conversely, the man who has no goal, who doesn't know where he's going, and whose thoughts must therefore be thoughts of confusion and anxiety and fear and worry, becomes what he thinks about. His life becomes one of frustration and fear and anxiety and worry. And if he thinks about nothing, he becomes nothing. Now, how does it work? Why do we become what we think about? Well, I'll tell you how it works as far as we know. Now, to do this, I want to tell you about a situation that parallels the human mind. Suppose a farmer has some land, and it's good fertile land. Now, the land gives the farmer a choice. He may plant in that land whatever he chooses. The land doesn't care. It's up to the farmer to make the decision. Now, remember, we're comparing the human mind with the land because the mind, like the land, doesn't care what you plant in it. It will return what you plant, but it doesn't care what you plant. Now let's say that the farmer has 2 seeds in his hand. One is a seed of corn, the other is nightshade, a deadly poison. He digs 2 little holes in the earth and he plants both seeds, one corn, the other nightshade. He covers up the holes, waters, and takes care of the land, and what will happen? Invariably the land will return what's planted. As it's written in the Bible, as ye sow, so shall ye reap. Now remember, the land doesn't care. It'll return poison in just as wonderful abundance as it will corn. So up come the 2 plants, one corn, one poison. Now the human mind is far more fertile, far more incredible and mysterious than the land, but it works the same way. It doesn't care what we plant. Success, failure. A concrete, worthwhile goal, or confusion. Misunderstanding, fear, anxiety, and so on. But what we plant, it must return to us. You see, the human mind is the last great unexplored continent on Earth. It contains riches beyond our wildest dreams. It will return anything we want to plant. Now, you might say, well, if that's true, why don't people use their minds more? Well, I think they figured out an answer to that one, too. Our mind comes as standard equipment at birth. It's free, and things that are given to us for nothing we place little value on. Things that we pay money for, we value. The paradox is that exactly the reverse is true. Everything that's really worthwhile in life came to us free. Our minds, our souls, our bodies, our hopes, our dreams, our ambitions, our intelligence, our love of family and children and friends and country, all these priceless possessions are free. But the things that cost us money are actually very cheap and can be replaced at any time. A good man can be completely wiped out and make another fortune. He can do that several times. Even if our home burns down, we can rebuild it. But the things we got for nothing, we can never replace. The human mind isn't used because we take it for granted. Familiarity breeds contempt. It can do any kind of job we assign to it, but generally speaking, we use it for little jobs instead of big, important ones. Universities have proved that most of us are operating on about 10% or less of our abilities. So decide now, what is it you want? Plant your goal in your mind. It's the most important decision you'll ever make in your entire life. What is it you want? Do you want to be an outstanding salesman? A better worker at your particular job? Do you want to go places in your company? In your community? Do you want to get rich? All you've got to do is plant that seed in your mind, care for it, work steadily toward your goal, and it will become a reality. It not only will, there's no way that it cannot. You see, that's a law, like the laws of Sir Isaac Newton, the laws of gravity. If you get on top of a building and jump off, you'll always go down. You'll never go up, and it's the same with all the other laws of nature. They always work. They're inflexible. Think about your goal in a relaxed, positive way. Picture yourself in your mind's eye as having already achieved this goal. See yourself doing the things you will be doing when you've reached your goal. Ours has been called the phenobarbital age, the age of ulcers and nervous breakdowns and tranquilizers. At a time when medical research has raised us to a new plateau of good health and longevity, far too many of us worry ourselves into an early grave trying to cope with things in our own little personal ways without learning a few great laws that will take care of everything for us. These things we bring on ourselves through our habitual way of thinking. Every one of us is the sum total of his own thoughts. He is where he is because that's exactly where he really wants to be, whether he'll admit that or not. Each of us must live off the fruit of his thoughts in the future, because what you think today and tomorrow, next month and next year, will mold your life and determine your future. You're guided by your mind.